I felt like I wanted to do something creative when I was, by the time I was 14 or 15. I wanted to be an archaeologist. I like design in general. I like remaking found objects. There was a sculptor in my neighborhood who gave me a piece of alabaster. I think I was either 14 or 15, and he asked me to carve it and then show it to him later. And I did carve it. I actually still have the piece, but I felt, I don't know, I didn't feel it was good enough, and I just like put it away, put it to one side. I was like somewhat discouraged from doing creative things in ways like you'll never make a living at it, or not that I wouldn't make a living at it, but just like emphasize that it was difficult, like it was a difficult life and that I should be more practical. So I did become more practical, and I put all that aside, but I kept that piece of alabaster. I like the idea of, I like reinventing objects. Like an object has a life, has one life, like it's created, like a book page may be created for one purpose, to tell that particular story, but it can be represented and reimagined to be something different. It can be, tell a completely different story if it's combined with other elements. And that, a particular object can be, it can tell more than one story. Just like a person can become more than one, can have more than one story over a lifetime. There's some great environments in Brooklyn. You have kindred spirits, artists that are drawn to. I guess a driver for artists in Brooklyn is more space for less money, and you have like a density of people who are creating music, art, doing design work of different ways. And it's, I think, it's still competitive because, it's not so easy to live in New York, so it's still competitive, but there's more of a sense of community, I think, in Brooklyn. I think, well, when I was in banking and finance, I had a uniform that was very, like, corporate approved colors, and a very like limited range and like really no personal expression. I think like as I became more comfortable with expressing myself in other ways, that came about. I mentioned Gunnar, the artist that I collaborated with in 2003 and 4. He told me one time, well, he had broken up with his boyfriend in Milan, and for some reason ended up in Jacksonville, Florida, because his mom was there. And he told me one day, Tom, you don't have to dress like that. So I think I was still dressing like a North Florida dad, So he actually kind of coached me a little bit, I think really like I just became comfortable within my own skin, so I relaxed enough to be myself.